Hello, avocado fans. I have 4 wonderful avocados to taste test today, and the interesting thing about them is that 3 of them, the Carmen, the Gem, Gem, and the Maluma, Maluma with a U, all 3 of them are grown and used as a supplement, a complement, or replacement of the Hass type avocados. And Hass is an amazing avocado. I just had one locally grown and for lunch, and it had a very intense flavor, very nutty and creamy and rich, everything you want out of a perfect avocado. All these avocados come from my friends, so thank you, Eli, Justin, and Juan. Without you, I couldn't make these videos. And over here, I have another surprise, a Shawil avocado. Look at this green gold. And let me taste these together and tell you what I'm tasting. These are all wonderful varieties. Some of them you could find and grow yourself, and see what works for you. Let's go ahead and let me start with one of these Carmens over here. This one, the Carmen, is named after Carlos Mendez, Carmen. They put his first and last name together and they call it the Carmen avocado, also called Loca or Loca Hass. And this is one that came from Mexico, and it's called Loca because of the production. It's a very heavy producer and sometimes produces more than 1 crop a year. There we are. We got a little guy, and they do get bigger. This is, but it's a nice little avocado if you're gonna eat lunch and by yourself, and you want to add it to your food. That's the perfect size. Next, from the University of California, we have this one, the Gem, Gem, and this is named after Gray Edward Martin, who's part of the breeding program, the UC breeding program. And again, this is another one that was meant to be grown commercially because it's so similar to Hass, yet the tree might be a better performer, and it's smaller. So it just makes things easy. Oh, look at that for everybody. Look at that avocado. That is a pretty piece of fruit. Look at the seed to flesh ratio is good. No problems there at all. In fact, this one over here, the Maluma, also has a very nice seed to flesh ratio. You can see quite a lot there. So that's interesting. So these 3 right here, there can be essentially sold as Hass or replacements of Hass. And the interesting thing is they do have a lot of the same qualities. And this one is the Shawil avocado, originated in Australia from a Mr. Wilson and Mr. Sharp. And they tried many different hybrids of Guatemalan and Mexicans Thai avocados, and they got this one. In Hawaii, they also call it Kona Shawil. And this is an excellent avocado. I'm always consider myself fortunate and lucky and honored to have one of these, because the tricky thing about this one is unless you know someone that has a tree, you basically have to grow it yourself. You basically got to get a tree. Look at this. There we are. We got some beautiful avocados here today. All right, let's go ahead and try some of this different fruit, some of these different varieties. and I'll let you know what I think about them, and hopefully it'll help you decide what kind of varieties you may want to grow in your yard and what varieties you may want to look out for. Let me go ahead and let me start with this one. This is the Carmen. The Carmen avocado. Very nice and creamy. A lot of the same qualities that I would expect from a Hass avocado. It's got that walnut nuttiness about it. It's got a good oil content, very creamy. I don't know if I would be able to tell the difference between this and a Hass avocado. The fruit are small though, which is kind of the only criticism. And usually in California and a lot of places, it seems like it produces one crop a year, one big crop, but it's good. I like them. And let's try the next one, which is kind of a similar situation where it's basically a smaller tree, and it's also known for being a consistent producer. So people like this one in California. From the University of California. This is the Gem, G-E-M. And let's take a look at this guy. Very nice flesh. The seed is a good size. Very nice. Lots of cream on that one. And it's really nice to try them side by side, because sometimes when I get a gem from a store, I don't know when it was packaged, I don't know when it was picked, I'm not sure the process it went through, but obviously, same thing with oranges, any kind of fruit. When you get it from the store, they may be picked early, and sometimes some of the flavor is just not there, like our famous California navel orange. They're good, but when you get one fresh off a tree, it just has a punch that you rarely get when you get them from the store. So this one has more of a walnut flavor. This one is more of a creamy flavor. I don't taste the walnut as much, but this is probably the best gem avocado I've ever had, because it is straight off of a tree, not that far from me. Excellent. I'm really excited that I am growing this tree, and I'm growing it because it's consistent. All right, next we're gonna try the Maluma, and I got one right here, which I already started eating today. And let's try this one. Here we are. Interesting. I have to say today these two taste very similar to me. The Maluma and the Gem have a very similar quality. This might have maybe a little more buttery, a little more butter to the Maluma, but a little more cream to the Gem, more walnut to the Carmen. I really think all of them are good choices for your yard if you can grow them and you really like the Hass type avocados. And there's a reason why 90% of the crop in California are Hass, and that is because, or related to Hass that is, and that is because that's the flavor people want. That's what sells tons and tons of guacamole every year. But there are other avocados, and that's why I wanted to include this one to let you know, as much as Hass is the king and the gold standard here in California, let's take a look at this one here. This is the Shawil. Look at this one. Talk about green gold, which is also related to this one. And I can see why they chose that name, because that is the perfect name for this avocado, or avocados related to it. Shawil, aka Kona Shawil. Wow. Wow. I every time I eat a Kona Shawil, I'm just reminded why I got into this journey in the first place. And why is that? It's because I found that there are some amazing avocados out there you'll never find in the stores. And when you could get them fresh off a tree, it'll blow you off your feet. So this is the Kona Shawil. It's a wonderful avocado. If you can grow the Kona Shawil in your area, I highly recommend it. I can definitely tell you, if you get this fruit or you try this fruit, you're gonna be very, very satisfied with your results, because the flavor is very complex. It has a lot of qualities that you would expect or you'd want in an avocado. Now I am going to add some tahini and lemon. So let's put them out, and I want to see how the quality changes. All right. I'll just put a little bit, not too much. This is to spice it up and amplify what's already there. You could also use salt and pepper if you don't like your food too spicy. And a little bit of lemon. Just helps you get a different idea of what these may taste like if you make them into a guacamole, for example. Just like anything, when you add a sauce to it, it can bring out the flavors. Okay, I will go in the same order as last time, from left to right. The Carmen avocado. Very nice. Very good guacamole avocado. The gem avocado. Definitely that brought out the creaminess. That tasted very creamy compared to the Carmen and the Maluma. The creaminess really stood out, and that really brought it out all the more. The Maluma. The Maluma's got a good flesh. See, it's relatively firm. It doesn't get all mashy. I can't stop eating this one. One more bite. I'm sorry, it's just, this is a really good avocado. Especially with the tahini. And there you go, with the skin. Yeah, I could see why they want to use this one for commercial production. It's checks all the boxes. Now, the one that went from Australia to Hawaii, where people added Kona to its name, the Kona Shawil, which people can't stop talking about, myself included, with some tahini and lemon. And this will be my first time trying it with tahini and lemon, because I had this in Hawaii and I didn't have it with tahini and lemon. I just had it straight. Oh, beautiful. Wow, I feel like a kid eating this one. I mean, I don't know what other expression to use than sounding like a kid in the candy store. Shawil is definitely a very complex flavor, and the lemon and tahini bring out those complex flavors. And I'm here to say these are all excellent, wonderful avocados. I would say, to me, they're all top tier avocados. Go out, you try them for yourself. I would rank them, but to be honest, I think everyone's got different taste buds. Everyone has different needs. We all have different yards, and I really don't think that one is necessarily better than the other. This one had the most walnut. This basically tastes to me like a Hass, which makes sense because, again, it's straight from the tree locally. This one is similar, but it has more of a creamy flavor. This one, the Maluma, is grown in California, and it's just got a really nice buttery Hass type texture to it. And as I understand, the tree is smaller, much like this one. And if you want to really see what else is out there, then I would go with the Shawil. The Shawil has a lot of different qualities to it. And I can say briefly, to me, as I mentioned in another video, I'm reminded of qualities of other top tier avocados, and it's almost like you get everything in one in this avocado. They're all excellent. They're all great. For ranking, if you want, please leave a comment. Let me know what's your favorite and why it is. I just want you to go try them, enjoy them, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you're growing in your yard. Let me know what does well in your area, because these are just amazing gifts, and they make me very happy. Hopefully they'll make you as happy, because for me, those little avocados I get at the grocery store just are not enough. All right, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.